Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Local Pundit. I'm Josh Anthony. This is your match day preview for the FA Cup Round 2. Wrexham AFC versus Yeovil Town FC. It is a national League team versus a League 2 team. Yes, and they're old foes of ours, and we're going to get into that a little bit. It is a Sunday clash tomorrow. Obviously, Saturday going today. We just was just watching some of the FA Cup games just right now, and so we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about Parkinson and his presser. By the way, happy birthday to Parkinson. I think he's 57 or 59, so happy birthday to the gaffer. Before we get started there, we're going to talk about Okonkwo, an update on him, what we can expect from Wrexham. Let's take a look at Yeovil and how we think we may go out against them, a few little history lesson with them as well, and going into what we think we might do to win that match. So, yes, it's going to be a banger tomorrow, and I don't think it's going to be an easy win for us, but we're looking forward to it. Definitely looking forward to the match. I don't know if anyone saw it. Just looking at some of the results yesterday. I think Notts County got knocked out yesterday, and Gillingham just went through. Saw that. So it's gonna be a good game tomorrow. It's on ESPN. But let's get into it right now. It is 2 games on the bounce that are not going to be in the league. In League 2, it's going to be obviously we have the FA Cup tomorrow, and then Bristol Street Rovers back on Saturday, and then we're back in the league after that against I think it's Forest Green Rovers. So we'll talk about that a little bit, which I think will help shape how this game's going to go tomorrow. So old foe Yeovil Town, but it's going to be a big one. So I was listening to Parkinson in his presser. He wants to win. He wants to get in that third round draw. This second round is just the lower league side still figuring it out. But that third round draw, say that 3 times fast. Third round draw is important because that's when the big uns come in. That's when the Manchester Uniteds and Manchester Cities and Arsenals and big league teams come in, and you can get a draw. And hopefully, have them come and, for financial reasons and things like that, just get a little more attention to the side. Not that Wrexham needs more attention as it is, because they're the big guns of the lower league, which, hey, we'll wear with pride. We'll wear it on the shirt and wear that badge around. So I think Parkinson, he was mentioning about like, this is important. He wants to respect the cup as he does, and he always wants to win. Fair play. So, coming off the back of Harrogate Town and dropping 2 points, we want to come and bounce back. With something like that, he mentioned they want to expect to win. Game of 2 halves. If it was reversed, it'd be eulogizing. So I think what we want to do is come back and make a statement in this game. So I think that he'll have a strong side, and they want to bounce back and have the team just not feel so down. But listen, a point away is not horrible. But into this FA Cup run, we want to get into that third round. That's the goal. Get into the third round. And how do we do that is putting a strong side out there. On that note, let's talk about Okonkwo, who went off at halftime. He got a bit of a knock to the jaw. Obviously, we want to protect our players, especially this player is not technically owned by us. He's on loan from Arsenal. So he had a scan. Not good news, not bad news. There's actually no news yet other than he's had a scan, and he's going to see another specialist on Monday. So that leads me to believe that he obviously is not going to play in tomorrow's match or in the Bristol Street Rovers match. So he's going to be on the sideline. So Howard will step in. Parkinson had mentioned that, some of the players that he actually got asked, he's like, will you shift the side around a little bit? And he said, we're not going to fail the weakened team. Some of the players that weren't directly involved in some of the games we had in the past 2 games could be involved. So that leads me to believe there could be some changes. One will be Howard in goal because of the Okonkwo injury, and because we have to honor what Arsenal wants to do, because technically he is his player. He has played well over the past few games, but Howard, safe pair of hands, and I think he's going to be okay. That said, would Howard come in? And obviously, Bristol Street Rovers coming up. Think about that. I'd probably see Luke McNicholas come in for that game as well against Forest. So I think I mentioned, against Forest. So that's that. But Okonkwo is not 100% fit. So that's not a worry, but it's something we need to look out for. So I expect that change to happen. Now, what can we expect? As I was saying, he's going to go with a strong side. I could see him making maybe 1 or 2 changes in the back. maybe a Boyle come in for Tozer, or a Dalby in for a Palmer, something like that. But I expect, I do expect him to be a full strong side. I'd go with Howard, McLean, O'Connor, maybe Tozer or Boyle, maybe swap one of those two out. And then I would go on the right. I stick with Mendy, and then I'd go with our solid three in the middle. I'd go with Evans, Lee, and I'd keep Andy Cannon. Maybe Cannon could be the one that could be swapped out. And then up front, I'd go Mullen and Dalby. Give them one of them a bit of a rest. That's what I would do. So that's still a strong side. If you start Dalby over Mullen, the Mullen can come off the bench, but he's got a great record in this FA Cup. And last year, I think he was top scorer in the FA Cup, so he probably wants to get on that. But more importantly, it's a long season, and we want to win this match. And maybe a rest to one or two players. I don't see a full side getting fully wiped out, starting an all new 11. I think he's going to do that in Bristol Street Rovers, and I said against Forest Green. So that's what I think he's going to do. So expect some small changes, but I would, what do I know? I'm sitting here, talking to everyone here. This is my opinion. So let's take a look at Yeovil Town. So Yeovil Town, I wasn't able to find how they line up. I think it might be a 3-5-2. I could be wrong themselves, but their manager is Marcus Stewart. I was listening to his presser as well. And in his mind, he said, the pressure's not on them. The pressure's not on them. It's on Wrexham. But pressure is always on Wrexham. So that's what he is saying. The pressure is on Wrexham. They're actually coming off a loss and a draw, but are doing really well. They're 2 tiers down. They got relegated last season from the National League while we were going up. And there's a little bit of a story there, which I think this game could have some bite to them. So right now they're in the National League South, 6th tier. As I mentioned, they got relegated. They're currently 8 points clear in the National League South. So they are also top scorers with 39 goals in 19 matches in the league. So they played 13, drawn 3, lost 3. So they're doing really, really well, although they are coming off a loss against Willing United. They got beat 4-1. So that ended a run for them of 13 games on the bounce, winning on the bounce. So they're doing really, really well, even though they did get relegated. He had mentioned they're an attacking-minded team, from what I know. So it should be an opening game, and we shouldn't take them lightly. They were in the league with us last year, and they, like everyone else, want to go and make a name for themselves, and they want to have a cup run as well. The manager had also mentioned about bringing in funds to the team, the lower league team. So if they go on a cup run, so I'd expect them to come out huff and puff a little bit. I could actually see us maybe even going behind a goal, but then bouncing back and winning again. I think we're going to win this game, but I could see them coming out and huff and puff at the beginning. And the reason why I think so, or we can trounce them too. You never know. But I could see them getting a goal ahead and us clicking in gear and getting in and shifting through the gears and going, 3rd, 4th, 5th gear and scoring. So Marcus also spoke about they need to have a little bit of luck to win the game. And there's a feel-good factor for Wrexham, and there's also a feel-good factor for Yeovil Town. So they're not coming in to lay over. They're going to come in to try to win this game, and everyone is. And like I said, they want to make a name for themselves. A little bit of a renaissance this season has been remarkable for them because they did get relegated, and we played a game and a hand in that game, the penultimate game for us. We beat them 3-0, which put them down to the lower. They had to win their last 3, and we had to win ours as well to go up. So we're the ones that technically got them relegated last year. They needed to win their last 3 matches to avoid. While we knew what we needed to do to win, we had a 3-0 win. Anthony Ford, James Jones, and Paul Mullen scored, which set us up for the big clash against Bournemouth, which eventually led us to the title. And we basically sent Yeovil Town last year. So that is why this game, I think, has a little bit of a bite, a little bit of a sore taste in their mouth. And who wouldn't want to come up and go up against the Big Bad Wolf who relegated him last year? Big Bad Wolf, actually the Big Bad Red Dragon. And that's what we're going to do. So I think they're going to come out and give their best shot. Maybe they go up a goal. Never want to see that, but it might kick us into gear. I think we're going to win this game. I think we'll make a few changes, but ultimately I think we're going to come out on top. That said, a couple milestones which we got off the website Wrexham, so that's pretty cool what they do. George Evans could make his 250th career appearance, and Mendy could make his 50th career appearance for Wrexham, that is. So Evans as a career, and Mendy with his career at Wrexham could his 50th. So that's pretty cool. Instead of a potential lineup, I think it's going to be Howard, McLean, Tozer could rest maybe for Boyle, O'Connor, and Mendy. I'd go with that solid Evans, Lee, and Cannon. Cannon could be the one that could get a rest. And then I'd go up front with Palmer sitting and putting Dalby in there with Mullen, or switch it out, one of the two. I think he's going to go with that strong side. That's what I can expect. This is going to be a good one. We're going to be on the channel tomorrow. Also, we go live. We've been dropping out a little bit, so I apologize everyone that has been sticking with us. So really appreciate that. I'm also playing hurt my back, so it's tough for me to sit. So that's why there hasn't been much coverage this week, but content getting out there. But we will be there. I wanted to prep for tomorrow. We also upgraded the internet. I spent all week upgrading the internet. Got a new internet, upgraded it a little bit. So let's see how this goes. Really excited for that. Please get involved, like, share, subscribe, all the fun stuff. It's going to be a big one tomorrow. We'll do that. We'll have the call-in as well at halftime. So that's your match day preview and news for Wrexham AFC, Yeovil Town FC. It's going to be a good round 2. Let's get after it tomorrow. Let it rip. All right, have a great Saturday. I will see you tomorrow.